Welcome to another edition of LRMania Reviews, and tonight I'm here to review Smackdown, which will be the return of Daniel Bryan. So the show opens up with the four women, Charlotte, Tamina, Becky, and Natty, yelling outside of the hallway, outside of Daniel Bryan's office, right out the door. And you see Daniel Bryan come out, they all yell at him, and he says he's going to do something. And then Carmella and James Ellsworth come out, and she brags about winning. And Carmella here cut probably the best. This is actually the best moment of her career by far. She cut a great promo here. I think you have to give her credit. I was very critical of her winning, and I'm critical of the push she was getting because she got no reaction. She got nothing. She was the least over all the women. She just got nothing. And she was good with Enzo and Cass. Obviously, you'll never get to see the three of them on the main roster together. That's kind of sad. I just didn't understand why she just wasn't brought up with them. I didn't really get, or understand why they'd push her. After this, she can be a future champion. She was awesome here. She cut the best promo of her career by far. She is now going to be the top heel on SmackDown. I guess you have Charlotte as a face now, and Becky as face, so I guess Natalya is kind of in a veteran role. Carmella was awesome here. Just a great promo. Then you go backstage, you have Charlotte yelling at Daniel Bryan. They did mention something about Charlotte's neck. That's very interesting. That could be a storyline that goes on for a while. But she yells at him, do the right thing. She's yelling. So maybe he'll do it. I think we're going to see a rematch. I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think it'll be this week. However, I think he makes the rematch maybe next week. Or maybe they'll be on the July 4th show. They'll try to make that a huge show when John Cena comes back on that same show. But I think we're definitely seeing that rematch. And speaking more of Carmella, the last couple of days have been amazing for her. The last few days for her and her man. She is actually with Cass. So the two of them cut the two best promos of their careers on back-to-back nights. And she actually won the Money in the Bank on Sunday. So 3 amazing nights for that couple. So New Day comes out, not even paying attention to what they say. It's the same old shit. Usos coming. I think we're getting a tag match. I don't know if it's a title match. I think it might be a tag match, regular tag match. If I think New Day wins, they'll probably get another title shot. Never mind. It's actually Big E and they're with one of the Usos. I don't know if it's Jimmy or Jay. One thing I think it's been a talking point with the Usos for several months now, or at least a few months, is one of them is a lot more in worse shape than the other. I'm not too sure which one it is. I think it might be Jay. I think Jay's the one in shitty shape and Jimmy's looks really good. But you can tell. I think if they were ever to split, it should never say never. I mean, this is what they do. They always split up the tag teams that are very over, and they've completely dropped the ball with even though the Usos are a good team. If they ever split them, I think Jay would be in a lot of trouble. Yeah, so I guess that Big E pinned Jimmy, who's the actual Uso who's in good shape. The other slob, he just was on the outside. After that, we go to Daniel Bryan with Natalya and Tamina. He talks about Natalya's shoulder injury. I don't know if this is some kind of storyline. He already said Charlotte has a neck injury now. Natty has a shoulder injury. Natalya's being very, 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 very nice to Daniel. Politely asks him. Then Tamina threatens to beat up Carmella. Yeah, again, comes some comedy here. I guess I really think they're gonna do the rematch. I think he'll announce it at the end of the show. So, they go to a backstage segment, Naomi and Lana. Lana asked for a rematch. I guess we're going to get a rematch next week. Naomi gave it to her and she accepted. So it's funny. We're going to see a tag team rematch, a women's rematch, probably a women's Money in the Bank rematch. Orton and Mahal are definitely having another match. I had Orton do a sit-down interview after that with, I believe it was Byron Saxton or Tom Phillips. I wasn't even paying that close attention. I apologize for that. In which, he talked about how he messed up. He got emotional because it was Father's Day. And I guess we're going to... there's rumors we're going to see a battleground. Since the show's called Battleground, we might get a gimmick match, a big structure of a Punjabi prison. The last two Punjabi prisons were fucking trash. He had Great Khali and Undertaker and his Big Show Undertaker. His Great Khali got hurt, or he had something happened to Khali. He was removed from a match with Undertaker and Big Show. It was fucking terrible, horrible, just a garbage match. That match sucked. Then he had Batista and Great Khali, and that was even worse. Although Batista's leap was so awesome, that was great. But that match fucking sucked. So I never want to see another Punjabi prison in my life. I've had 10 years avoiding it. Unfortunately, I think we're getting another one now. Ziggler is out now for a match with It's Nakamura. We're going to get a rematch with Backlash on this show. So hopefully they get a lot of time. Hopefully they tear the host on like they're capable of. So with Nakamura, I'm really hoping they go out there and like they prove that they could have a better match from what they did at Backlash. And now they're doing okay right now. So hopefully we can see more strong style. I really like how they keep mentioning Shinsuke Nakamura has an MMA background. He's actually a pretty decent MMA fighter for what he did. I mean, for the short career he had. And I like how they use the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as part of his arsenal. I just wish he'd win more matches. I think he should have maybe won with a triangle, won with an armbar, won with an inverted triangle, or use more jiu-jitsu submissions and try to actually win and shoot ways. I think that would actually help his character more just than Zeno's always went to Kinshasa. So the match was a lot more stiff than the last match they had at Backlash. I thought actually, you know what? I enjoyed this more than the Backlash match. I thought they had a good match, very good TV match, a lot more stiff. Ziggler, he took a hard bump right on the mat when he got thrown out of the ring. That looked pretty bad. Overall, they had a good match, and just Nakamura is really starting to gain some momentum. I think the Backlash match kind of hurt his momentum. Then the way they were booking him, it hurt. Most momentum was hurt. But I think after last Sunday, the Money in the Bank match, when he made the heroic return, he almost won. And this, I think he's really starting to gain some fire now. So after the Nakamura match, we go to Daniel Bryan backstage at Sami Zayn. He books him for a match at Baron Corbin next week. I mean, we still haven't seen Baron Corbin on the show, so maybe that's why I'm kind of enjoying the show so far. I have to see that motherfucking loser's face. That bum, that talentless bum. But then during that, after he's done talking to Sammy, you have Becky come in and, her and Sammy have some interaction. Becky cuts a very passionate promo. You can almost feel like she was starting to cry. I don't know if she can get herself to cry. She was doing really well in there, and she's badly saying how everyone, screws her over, how she's always betrayed, and I thought she did well there. And, tell him to do the right thing. So, again, I think by the end of the show, he'll announce the match for next week. So now they're starting this new thing called the Kevin Owens Open Challenge. I guess this is like the John Cena Open Challenge for the U.S. belt a couple years ago. That's pretty cool. That's actually neat. I hope this continues for a while. So, before the Kevin Owens match starts, they did this recap of Money in the Bank, and they always have that terrible theme music playing. Money, 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 money. That awful theme music. However, it is worth noting that is the theme music of a very polarizing figure, one Mr. Donald J. Trump. When he was in there in 2007, I think that was his actual theme music when he did that stuff with Vince McMahon. So, I think that theme music is a lot more significant now than it was a year ago. I think they're probably, I don't know. I mean, they haven't referenced Donald Trump whatsoever. I know people don't want to hear me talk about Donald Trump, about wrestling, but that is, I know, I just thought I'd point that out because that was actually his theme music in WWE. So KO is out now, and hopefully this goes as good as the John Cena Open Challenge did a couple years ago. So AJ Styles interrupts. He teases he's going to face Kevin Owens. Owens denies him the opportunity. And then, holy fucking shit. American Alpha is back after fucking 2 months of hiatus. They're back, American Alpha. What the fuck? They're back. Chad Gable comes out. Jordan goes back. Jordan, he just walks up the ramp and he goes back. He leaves. So Gable goes to the ring. Says he moved from Dayton, Ohio. This challenge is exclusive to Dayton, Ohio. They make the match. So it's Owens against Gable. I don't even care. I mean, I know Owens is winning. I'm just happy to see American Alpha back. Seems like these guys went to irrelevancy. I mean, they just haven't been relevant since they lost the tag belts. It's finally nice to see them back. And unfortunately, I'm pretty sure we know what's going to happen. I mean, eventually, maybe in a few months from now, they'll turn Gable, or Jordan's going to get the big push. Gable's going to be Enzo Amore of the team, even though he's far more talented than Enzo. And I'm still pissed off they split up Enzo and Cass. I'm so fucking bummed out. They completely dropped the ball with them. They could have been such a big drawing tag team. And oh man, that fucking sucks. It just sucks. Fuck this creative team. They fucking suck. So Owens went over. I guess maybe they're doing Owens and AJ again at the Battleground show. After that, we go backstage at Daniel Bryan once again in the back. I mean, it seems like he's been on the show. The whole show seems to be about, him talking to people, complaining about the finishes on Money in the Bank. Seems like, I mean, that even basically admits this show was a piece of shit. All you have is people complaining on this fucking show. Talks to Mojo and the Ryder and makes a match with them against the Usos next week, which I'm sure they'll lose. And now hopefully we can get to that last segment already. I mean, this show's just dragging. All it is people whining and bitching. Well, maybe it's because the fucking product sucks. I mean, you might have to bitch more on Raw because, I mean, I don't know. I mean, some of the stuff... Actually, you know what? SmackDown, that show on SmackDown, that Money in the Bank show really pissed me off. It pissed off a lot of fans. That show was not good at all. I thought that show sucked. So I guess this whole thing is just people bitching. Maybe it's WWE trying to piss off the internet by, showing just people bitching the whole show to say fuck you to the internet fans. I don't know what they're doing. Where the fuck is Ty Dillinger? He's on Mia now. I see he has the American Alpha treatment. Where the fuck is Ty Dillinger? Anyone know where he is? The fuck? They just forget about people on this goddamn show. It's unbelievable. Speaking of Ty Dillinger, they just had a fucking stupid Sonic ice cream sundae commercial with Sami Zayn. That was fucking terrible. Daniel Bryan's in the ring. He introduces all the women. There's about 27 minutes left in the show, so no time for the match. So, in the segment, they had this confrontation with James Ellsworth and Daniel Bryan. They teased some friction. They had all the women argue, and all of them talked. When Tamina talked, it was just super awkward. It was just terrible. She's not good. She has nothing. But Daniel Bryan strips Carmella of the briefcase, and he announces next week there's going to be a rematch. So that's what I predicted. Then after it, a brawl breaks down. Natalya and Tamina get thrown to the back, and then Charlotte and Becky Lynch both beat up on the heel Carmella. They trap her and they beat her up. So very heelish moves by the two top babyface females. I'm looking forward to the rematch. Hopefully they have a good match, and I believe Carmella will win again, though. Main event of the show is the Maharaj, who's, I think, in his first SmackDown main event as champ. He has not been positioned as the champ on the show. Nakamura's positioned as the top guy, and so is AJ, so is KO, so is, of course, Randy Orton. Corbin's positioned ahead of him, even though he sucks. I mean, everyone's positioned ahead of this guy. This guy's not featured. It's not the featured guy at all. Charlotte's featured ahead of him. It's funny, and now I think this is his first time. I mean, he doesn't feel like the champion at all. It's just weird. So it's him and Luke Harper in the main event. Man, that's a match. I like her. Man, that's a match you just want to immediately flip the chin up. I think something might happen at the end with Orton. He might kill one of the Singh brothers finally. So we'll see what happens at the end. But yeah, that's a terrible main event. And I like Harper, but fuck, that's not good. So when they do Jinder's entrance, I mean, it starts off as like a giant red LSD trip. You have the Singh brothers introduce him. This Mr. Steroids comes out. Blah blah blah. I mean, I think they might do something when Orton starts to kill one of the Singh brothers. I mean, he gives one of them the punt in the head and starts taking him out. Because I think they're going to do something at the third pay-per-view. It'll be interesting to see how that works if they're going to beat Orton a third time in a row. I think they might, because I think it's Jinder and Cena at WrestleMania, so that'd be 3 times in a row he beats Orton at Battleground if that happens. The bomb comes out during the match, and Mahal ends up beating Luke Harper, but that bomb with the briefcase, he's just sucks. I'm afraid this is going to be a thing when he just comes out. I really do not want to see these two feud. In my opinion, two of the least talented guys on the roster. One of them is the champion. One of them has the Money in the Bank briefcase. What a disgrace this show has become. So that's the show. Orton comes out. He beats up the Singh brothers, and Jinder runs away. He beats up everyone. This feud must continue. Fuck. I don't know what I really thought about the show. It's hard to even give it a decent review. So much happened. A lot of weird shit. There was some stuff that was good. I don't know, kind of a mixed bag for this one. I think I enjoyed Raw, and I thought Raw was actually a more eventful show. Raw had a lot of bad stuff, but I thought Raw was definitely the more eventful show this week.